Hello, welcome back to channel. Sorry, welcome back to Channel Blue. Today I will be talking about. Oh yeah, I cut my hair. It's a little short right now, but in like a week, I think it'll look like the perfect length. I'm very excited. I already kind of like how it looks now, but I did get my hair cut. Indeed, it was long overdue. I don't know if it was obvious in the last video, but a haircut was definitely needed, so we got that situated. Today I want to be talking about, though, a kind of person that I have experienced recently, and now that we're not friends, I've had some time to think about this person retroactively. It's just kind of given me some clarity as to how dangerous certain people can be to your peace. So, I want to talk about this specific type of person that I want to warn people about, because they seem very kind and caring, but there can also be ulterior motives to approaching so kind and caring to you. So, basically, what is this archetype that I'm talking about? I am talking about the person that is the therapist friend. The person that goes around from person to person, everyone in your friend group, and on a one-to-one, and what's the word? On like an individual basis, they will tell everyone that, you know, if you ever need to talk about something, I'm here. Like, if you ever need to get it off your mind, twin, like, I'm right here, blah, 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 blah. Which, that in itself is nothing bad. Obviously, people can say that and have truly only good intentions, and people are like that, and there are good people in the world that I know that are like that, and that I know do exist for other people. But this is not the type of person I'm talking about. I'm talking about the person that does put on a front to say this to you, but their intentions are not completely selfless, but do have ulterior motives to them. Even if they don't know this or they don't admit it, that does seem to be what's going on. So, like I said before, this person will go around your friend group and they will basically beg people to open up to them under the guise of being a really good person that is very caring for you on an individual basis. But the reason that they do this, which I've been learning, whether they like to admit it or not, or they even know this about themselves or not, is to feel a sort of sense of superiority in a friend group, or a false illusion of control over other people. Because if this person has peered into the inner lives of all these people in this friend group, they now know, you know, the inner workings of what makes you tick. And if you ever, you know, slight them or disappoint them or anger them or frustrate them in some way, they will be comforted in knowing that they know a little bit of what makes you tick and what motivates you in life, and they will be able to be like, well, I can explain why this person did this thing because I know that this person has this fear. And so obviously they would do this because I know that X, Y, and Z lines up. And so I feel like I have more control of the situation because I'm not left with the frightening experience of not knowing why someone did something unappealing to me. But even apart from just themselves and a more kind of outwardly aggressive role, these people can also have motivation to learn about your inner, you know, fears. My computer ran out of storage, so I had to diagnose that really quickly. I don't remember where I was. From a more aggressive standpoint, this kind of person will be comforted in the way that if you ever do something to slight them, they know your inner fears, and they know that they are capable of exploiting them to make you uncomfortable if you ever do something that upsets them. Basically, it gives them an opportunity to manipulate if they feel threatened, because, again, they have more information about you that makes, you know, their target on you more concise and hit deeper. while doing this, they can use this information as a tool to get closer with other people. And I've said this before, and I will say it time and time again, nothing unites two people more than a common enemy. And I think enemy might be a bit of a strong word here, because sometimes you're not an enemy to this type of person, you're just someone that they don't like. So then in that case, you could argue nothing brings two people together than a shared secret about someone else, at least, for a more passive role. There is nothing that feigns a close connection between two people quite like having a secret. It puts something on the line in the relationship. It whether consciously or not, makes this relationship be built on exclusivity towards one another. Like, I've shared this secret with you. You're the only one who knows. We have this sort of exclusivity with each other because we know that there are certain things that we can talk about with each other that we can't talk about with anyone else watching. And that creates closeness between me and you over this shared secret. And simply because you don't have confirmation that this person isn't going to go and spread this to other people, there is a sort of reality that this person you share the secret with is indebted to you in some way, because now they have, valuable information for themselves about you that they're indebted to you for, whether they, consciously wanted that dynamic to happen or not. That is what's happened, because now you have given them something of value, even if unsolicited, and this creates a sort of hierarchy between you two on this subject, which again only puts this person above and above and above and above other people. It puts them above other people in a one-to-one communication by sharing secrets about you behind your back, but it also makes them feel like they have more control in social groups, because they know that they have dirt on all these little people that if any one of them slights them, they know now, because you've opened up to them, how to make you hurt if you upset them. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is be careful, especially online, with who you share your inner workings with. Because we like to assume as people that we are intelligent enough to be able to gauge other people's behavior and their motivations behind what they do. But human behavior is incredibly complex. It's very nuanced, and it's very, we as humans are very smart in the way that we can conceal our motivations for things, but we're also not so smart that we are able to completely decipher someone else's motives for their actions. Like, we're not all-knowing either. And so you have to be careful with who you share information with, because people are very good at hiding things, and they can use this information for greater control. And that is something that I've noticed recently, and it's so funny to see now, like, someone that I used to think was a genuinely, good and caring person was someone that just liked his control, and he liked the feeling of comforting me, because it also felt like an ego boost for him. Like, look, I'm doing so much good in the world. Look at how much people I'm helping. Like, imagine how smart I must be. Like, this feels good to me to help all these people, in a kind of grossly self-indulgent kind of way. And the scariest part about this is, for myself, even a person that is very smart and someone that you do think is able to care deeply about people, even those people you have to be careful with. Because just because a person has emotional maturity and has the ability to think deeply about their actions and how they affect other people, and they have the ability to be empathetic, does not mean that they always will be so, and does not mean that they don't have other issues in their life that they still have to resolve, which might make them act out of a lust for control and a self-preservation to the extent of harming other people. Just because someone has the ability to see more than anyone else you've ever met how their actions can hurt you, just because they're aware of all this and they're beautifully self-aware and they're empathetic and they're emotionally intelligent enough to see how hurtful they can be to you, does not mean that they're also the same people that can know all of this and still be the better person. That's something that I assumed because in a friendship with someone, I was like, well, this person knows me more than anyone else has known me before. Like, he knows why I do what I do and why I feel insecure about what I feel insecure about. So if anyone, he would be the last person to hurt me because he knows how badly he can hurt me. And I think trying to see the good in someone else in that way made, when I did make mistakes and when he did decide to start acting immaturely because of it, so much more hurtful, because it feels like no one else understands just how much they hurt me when they hurt me, but he would. And so anyone in the right mind would see that and be like, no, this person doesn't deserve that. I'm not going to hurt them because I know that if it's coming from me, it's going to hurt them. But nope, it's still very much a possibility. And those two, the ability to be empathetic does not correlate with actually being empathetic. And that is a fallacy. That connection that I've made in the past is not always true. It can be true in some people, but it can also not be true in some people. And you have to make sure that you understand that to have some sort of, reliance on yourself and trust in yourself to one day when you do open up to someone, to feel like you do so because you have discretion and you have noticed things about this person that make you feel truly like you can trust them. Not the way that I did, where I was like, he can see how much he'd hurt me. He would never do that. And then trust him because of that. Like, that's something that I did, and that was a fallacy that I made. That was a connection between two different statements that did not exist. And so I think that's important to bring to y'all's awareness that whenever you do decide to trust someone in life, you should be doing it because you are aware that this is a problem and you are aware that this is a possibility, and that through your own discretion, you have come to the conclusion that whatever person you trust in life, you trust with this in mind. So yeah, that's a little nugget of truth I wanted to drop for y'all today. I don't really know how else to close this out. This is just something that's been brought to my attention recently with a conversation I had with someone, and I wanted to make sure that whatever mistakes I've made in relationships, I want to bring to the table for other people to educate themselves on, because I don't know, I think pain is a good way to grow as a person, but also you can just get through things that you feel you've learned lessons from but still wish never happened because they hurt you so bad. And so I want to try and help prevent that type of situation from happening to people. So I don't know. That's just something I've noticed, and I wanted to bring to y'all's attention. So I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys soon in the next video. Peace out.